So if you clicked on this video, odds are you probably know that Pro Skater 3 and 4 are getting a remake. I'm not here to yap on about my opinion of it, I'm just excited that action sport games are getting remade again. The Tony Hawk series is very near and dear to my heart. I've been through the ringer with these games, my first ever PS2 game being Pro Skater 3, to my best speedrun being Tony Hawk's Underground. Yep, that's right, I'm Swampy64, 56th best run in Underground. With all the success and popularity of these games, what if I told you there was a game that Tony did not want you to know about? A game that was swept under the rug even more than Pro Skater 5. Allow me to introduce you to...
Oh, wait, here comes another one. Quick, give me your lighter.
Tony Hawk's Pro Skater HD, a game you cannot buy anymore. It's no longer on the Steam store, and there was never a physical release. Playtesters never got an early copy, and it was delisted only 5 years after the initial release. This game actually did surprisingly well upon release, selling over 120,000 copies in the first week. But unfortunately this was due to just a bunch of nostalgia bait, as I know I was super excited about this back in 2012. I was a young high school kid who didn't know any better, but I was tragically disappointed. When I played through this game for the first time, I just found it really boring and stale. And to put the icing on the cake, you had to buy DLC to be able to revert. This also gave you some of the Pro Skater 3 levels, but that's aside the point. This was an absolute cash grab, and overall just a really sad way to send off the Tony Hawk series. But these are memories from 13 years ago, so I figured why not check out this game. It's just sitting there in my Steam library collecting digital dust. I'll give it one last go and see if it was really that bad. Yeah, spoiler alert, it was that bad. Upon playing this game, I noticed a lot of issues. Alright, so this is Tony Hawk's Pro Skater HD. I don't remember much of this. I really don't. Like, I genuinely don't think I picked this up since it came out, so this will be interesting, but I just remember it being super stale and boring. On top of all this, I can't play the music in this game because obviously it's copyright, so I'm just playing this in silence with the sound effects, so here's hoping the Foley's good, because that's all that's gonna help me, like, with stimulating my brain playing this game. Wow. Wait. When I bought this DLC, was it only 3 levels? Canada, Airport, Los Angeles. They're the only Pro Skater 3 levels. Other than that, we have what? We have the warehouse, we have School 2, Hangar, Mall, Venice Beach, Downhill Jam, Marcel. That's it? Also, this menu looks like fucking clip art, bro. This is terrible. What the hell is this? First thing I'm kind of noticing is how, like, floaty the controls are. There's no... What I think isn't helping is that my controller isn't vibrating whatsoever. There's just nothing. So that's interesting. Oh wow, the flat ground revert animation is the same animation as the actual revert, which just shows you how much time they put into making a DLC for this game. Something that I've noticed about this game is that you cannot get, you can't get special unless you've landed like a combo. Like, say here, like, I'm going for ages. Like, I should have special by now, right? But you have to land it first. So you can't, so in order to get a high score with specials, you have to land and get special first, if that makes sense. You know what, the graphics aren't the worst. Like, I would say it looks better than Pro Skater 5. There's a decent amount of detail in the textures, I will say. But I can see a lot of popping in and out happening with the textures. And I know that's just like an Unreal Engine thing, but like, it's really noticeable in this game. Oh no, do not do this to me, do not. No, I'm not allowing this. Oh, I spent the whole time trying to find the bells. Oh, God. Please work. Oh my God. I can't, I literally cannot wall this. This wall doesn't allow wall rides. What is it? Oh. Oh no, this is so bad. This is so bad. How did I think this looks so good? This looks like Saints Row 2. Oh, that animation just looks so bad. It looks like some American Wasteland, like, cutscene. I don't know how to describe that any other way, but I'll put an example on screen.
Dude, you got some serious hell coming your way. Incoming!
Please? Oh, thank God. Thank God. Do I care to get the rest of these goals? No. I don't give a shit. God, that manual bullshit. It goes from the top of the bar to the bottom, like it just shouldn't do that. My last video, I paid about $50, all up to like make that video because I had to get the games, which I was fine with doing because they were all very good games and very fun. But if I had to pick and choose between 100%ing this game and paying another $50, I think I would just pay another $50 to not play through this game. Let's go for the spray cans, because... Why does Tony just combust with blood? Like, when I was doing research, this sold 120,000 copies in its first week. That is insane. And then, what was it, Tony Hawk Ride? Only shifted like 3,000 units in the first week? Which is like... To be expected it would be less because this game was like, you know, nostalgia bait. But like, still. It's just like, at least that game had something new going for it, I don't know. Alright, so we're on to the last 3 levels. And I'm not finishing them. Because I remember this DLC was like slapped together as the game was coming out. They were like, yeah, we should probably add reverts. And like, you know, since you can't even air out of a quarter pipe. Okay, makes sense. We didn't even hit that gap. We didn't even hit that gap. Let's see, we're gonna raise the bridge now. Okay. Do we have to do it this way? Why is the bridge not working? Can someone tell me why the bridge isn't working? Jesus Christ, that was so fucking loud. What is this animation? This is insane. Oh my god. It's gonna be so loud. The earthquake is gonna be so loud, I already know it. Oh, that was so loud. Why do they not regulate the audio? I think I'm done. I don't think I want to play this game anymore. This is really stale. It's really boring. There's nothing to offer here. This is the worst Tony Hawk game, by far. There's no customization in this game, no way to check your goals, and no way of upgrading your stats mid-game. Aside from buying different boards, I don't know what the cash is actually used for in this game. Someone please tell me, I genuinely have no idea. It also gets rid of those zany, more interesting goals in the limited Pro Skater 3 levels that you get, like finding the pickpockets at the airport or sinking the bullies in snow in Canada. Something random to note is that although I didn't hate the graphics and actually honestly thought they were pretty passable, looking way better than Pro Skater 5 and having a lot more detail in the textures, I couldn't help but notice, aside from LA, all of the levels have this darker tone to them, which really doesn't help set the whole mood for this experience. This game was supposedly built off the Tony Hawk's Underground 2 engine, but it really does not feel like that in any way. Momentum is slow, trick animations are slow, and the grinds you just kind of get sucked in for some reason. Another thing to note is that there's no opening cutscene to introduce all the skaters, which I only just realized when looking back at the gameplay. This was a staple to the franchise and something that really wouldn't have taken much effort to add in. Overall, this was just a terrible game, and I feel that it's worse than any of the other Tony Hawk games. Luckily, I never played Pro Skater 5, but at least from what I've seen, that game tried to include some interesting level themes, even if they weren't cohesive, and made some new missions that it looked at least somewhat engaging. Also, you can wall plant in Pro Skater 5, which would have genuinely helped me a lot of times in HD when Tony just banged into the wall and all his organs just imploded for some reason. I don't really have anything else to add about HD, but all I can say is that action sports game fans are eating well at the moment. With the upcoming Pro Skater 3 and 4 remaster to entertain us while we wait for the long anticipated Skate 4, I have high hopes that we will never revert to this garbage again.